good afternoon on what is a bright, clear but chilly day. It is Wednesday the 15th of December. I am back in the Radio Nook with a cat who is not ours and a nice hot cup of tea. No, you're not. Again, on my lap, just on my lap, cat, thank you. And some parcels which I'm going to unbox. Now, I've already been into, let's have a look, that parcel, and into these big boxes. Next, I'm going to look at this one. So let's go open this up. Okay, opens fairly easily. And what we've got inside is the Hellbore Guide to Occult Britain. Okay, so the Hellbore Guide to Occult Britain and Northern Ireland, witchcraft and the old gods, magic, rituals and the occult, ancient megaliths, portals to the other world, demons and the devil, curses and portents, film, TV and literary locations, exploring castles, museums and manor houses, megaliths, moors, mountains and lakes. This lavishly illustrated travel guide covers the rich history of magic and the occult in Britain and Northern Ireland, and its inextricable bond with the landscape. Delve into the world of witchcraft, ancient rituals and occult ceremonies, from the ancient stone circles of the Cornish moors to wealthy manor houses of Hampshire, from the windswept headlands of Northumbria to the golden streets of Oxford, from the turbulent Scottish borderlands to the rugged Causeway coast. This guide ventures into hundreds of locations with magical links, exploring the works of authors and creators inspired by their strange, numinous beauty, the lives of the occultist, witches and the cunning folk who inhabited them, and the legends that persist. So, yeah, a guide to occult Britain. And essentially it's an almanac, or almanac or gazetteer. Explore over 500 locations and discover Britain's history of the magic, witchcraft and the occult. So the Scottish mansion where Aleister Crowley summoned the Lords of Hell, the Cotswold town that worshipped Pan, the desolate moors and roamed by Conan Doyle's ghostly Hound, the library where Elizabethan magus John Dee conjured a demon, the evil oratory where Sir Gawain met the Green Knight, the gateway to Fairyland in Iona, the ancient forest where Gerard Gardner's coven performed a ritual to prevent the German invasion, and the spectral Yorkshire town that inspired Dracula. All in this, basically, in this book. We've got a map which breaks it down into regions, and then we go through essentially section by section, not county by county, but first we do like the southwest, and then the southeast, basically moving across the country and doing it region by region. So let's have a look. In the southwest, which obviously covers Cornwall, Devon, Dorset, Somerset, Gloucestershire and Wiltshire. Nice illustrated sort of like lots of period, lots of essentially free artwork, as it were. So here we go. We've got a map of the southwest, an area I know reasonably well. Whether that's the Cern Abbas Giant, okay, which you may know from the fact that at the time of the Simpsons movie they put jeans on it, or they did one of Homer Simpson as well, and Bradbury Rings as well. So we're looking at the ritual landscape as well. And then we go on to the legend of Jan Treagal. So if you're running a campaign, this is basically just okay. There are lots of uses of this book. So obviously, it's a holiday guide. If you want to go see weird places and check out legends and that sort of thing, it's a guide in general. So if you want to explore it further, so go okay, that's interesting. Where do I find more information about that? So this is just a starting point. Or it's a source book for the role-playing game of your choice, whether that's Call of Cthulhu, or Liminal. Liminal is perfect for, because that's built across the landscape of the United Kingdom with Great Britain. Definitely inspired by that. Then we have sections like The Great Beast in Cornwall. So, you know, if you want to encounter Aleister Crowley there, you can. Or, you know, essentially we come on to the footprints of a gigantic hound, obviously made famous by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle with the Sherlock Holmes story, Hound of the Baskervilles. Then we get on to things like Drake and the Devil. If you're doing something like a game for D-sanction, so it's great for the D-sanction as well. And in, you know, Dorset, various places around there that I know more or less fairly well, and stuff I don't know. There's always going to be things in there. You know, this is going to be a book full of discoveries. Let's have a look. Let's just see if there's anything interesting in here. So let's just see. Essentially, so Badbury Rings, about 20 miles from Knowlton, is next to which a Romanic Celtic temple. The Iron Age fort is supposed to be haunted by the ghostly cavalcade formed by King Arthur and his knights, and by a wounded Roman soldier who likes to press his face against car windows. That's interesting. Never happened when I've been to Badbury Rings. I've been there a lot because it's about 8 miles away from my hometown, and if there's anywhere where I would like to go for a walk, it's Badbury Rings. I really like it. So yeah, let's have a look. So I mean, just opening up, you just flip to an open section. We have St Margaret's churchyard, Rattling with Hope. It basically houses the grave of Richard Munslow, the last sin eater in England. A local farmer who died in 1906. He was tasked with consuming the food and drink handed to him over the coffin, taking on the sins of the deceased. Yeah, I mean, fantastic. And then we have, basically symbols indicating sort of the various elements in occult, whether that's witches and cunning folk, the old gods, magic rituals in the occult, ancient megaliths, and so on. Ancient Stones of Cumbria. Nice guide there. And as I say, not in any great depth, but the thing is, these sort of things are starting points. They're spurs to your imagination. They will, have you going, well, what's that? What does that mean? Let's go and find out some more, because I don't know. And there's at the back we have image source and film and TV references as well. I love that's a nice inclusion, because essentially what it means is you can go and look up stuff further and actually enjoy it as media rather than just reading about it or researching it. You can actually watch it and enjoy it. So yeah, there was a reference to, let's see, let's have a look. An American Werewolf in London, by the 1981 John Landis film. So that's at 226. Okay. So we turn to page 226 and find it. So yeah, Powys, the Black Mountains, extending from the southeast Wales and Herefordshire. The Black Mountains are one of 4 mountain ranges that comprise the Brecon Beacons. The feeling of remoteness they elicit has often been exploited in classics of rural horror. See, for example, L.T.C. Rolt's short tales Cwm Garon and The House of Vengeance, and the rural scenes of An American Werewolf in London, which were filmed at Crickedarn and Haig Bluff at the northern end of the range. Plan your visit carefully and beware the moon. So it's not so much essentially that, okay, this is the location where they took place. So that's a nice touch, because that brings up, if you know your film, your American Wolf in London, don't step off the road, so on, and that's where they were they were shot. And then obviously we have things in there like Glam's Castle and the Horror of Glams. It's all in there. So yeah, that's a Hellbore Guide to Occult Britain, and I think in some ways this is sort of like a modern companion to a much earlier book, which has been come to the attention of certain people of late, which is Folklore, Myths and Legends of Britain. which is a much richer, more detailed book, for, such as the Doomed Airship, or let's have a look. Bugains and Clashans. The Land of Bugains and Clashans. I know nothing about it, but I've got something I'd be interested to read about in this book. Now this is a Reader's Digest book, and you have Romance of Britain, People and or Myth, and so on. Basically, 2 sections. Associated contents. Sorry. Part 1 is the Lore of Britain, and then Romance of Britain, People and Myth, and so on. And this was published Reader's Digest 1973, but you can find copies of these on eBay, and they're worth tracking down because essentially the information is still relevant if you're adding it to the role-playing games that I suggested, but this easily is a companion to it. Really does work as a companion, gives you the information you need, and you've got more information here potentially, and this sort of benefits from sort of like 40 years of further investigation and experience and history and so on. So yeah, the Hellbore Guide to Britain, which is just out. I thoroughly recommend this for your horror games, especially as a gazetteer of locations which you can bring into your role-playing game or campaign. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing here in the Nook. If you have, please do click the like button. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you posting those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings here in the Nook, where you will see me with, sometimes with a cat who's not ours, he's gone to sleep, and basically me with a nice hot cup of tea, and a package and a book or game which I will unbox and chat about for roughly 10 minutes or so to the best extent of my knowledge, then please do hit that subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another unboxing of the Nook. Bye for now.